Well, here we are with Steve Mayfield, one of my good friends who I've known for a long time. And Steve and I, we both have what in common is the joy of classic cars, but we also have the joy, we like the Roadmasters from the 1990s.
Yes.
And Steve, first of all, show us your first love here.
My first love.
Yes.
This is a 1993 Buick Roadmaster, and it has the GM Performance Parts Vortec 350, which my father and I put in. It has the 17-inch Impala SS wheels, and it has 2.5-inch lowering springs, and this and that, and this and that, and it's just a very, very nice car. I bought this car in 2006 for $200, as a matter of fact, and my father and I have just put it back together, and it's been just a great car. I've always wanted a hot rod, a Buick Roadmaster, and I finally did it.
And what's so awesome is you just love putting this together. Now, I believe there is something in the offing. This engine's coming out, and another one's going in. Is that correct?
This engine will be coming out this fall, and a 454 big block will be going in. Yes. Yes, it will.
Oh, Buick Motor Division would be so thrilled to see this. But it is really awesome, though, what you get for $200. And how much have you got in this car right now?
Probably the engine, that engine right there was $25,000 to $3,000, so probably around $5,000 right now. So.
And you're working hard on saving up for that 454, aren't you?
That's right, later on this fall. Yep.
Well, Steve, but also, though, what's exciting is this is our May cruise-in here at Lowe's, and now for the how many years, though, you have always, the second Saturday in May, weekend in May, you have hosted the Professional Car Society.
Yes, sir.
See, not only are Buicks an interest of yours, but you've had an interest in professional cars, hearses. Mm-hmm. It's partly because your career, you want to go into the funeral home business, don't you?
I was working at a cemetery for about 6 years, but the drive for the professional cars goes back to whenever I was real little, and I saw a funeral at my church, which was at Blessed Mother, and that's where I went to school. And I walked around to the other side of the church, and there was a funeral procession actually at the church. And I walked around and I saw the limos and the 85 Buick hearse and walked all the way around it and kind of stood there just in amazement that it was just a beautiful car. So that's just where it all came from. And in the mid-90s, whenever I was in high school, I learned of this club called the Professional Car Society and found there was a club for hearses and ambulances and limos. And you did not have to have a car to be in the club. So I found that, and when I graduated high school, I became a member.
Awesome. And now you have some friends here tonight. They've come. We're going to get to look at 3 hearses, are we not? Mm-hmm. So okay, Steve. Well, let's go now and let's meet some of your friends that are in town this weekend.
All right. Well, this gentleman here, this is my good friend Jeremy Ledford, and he is from Lebanon, Tennessee, and he is our chapter president of the volunteer chapter of the Professional Car Society. And Jeremy and I collaborated in 2006 to bring this show together, and this is our 5th year now.
Well, this is also, by the way, you all, today we've been featuring a lot of father-sons in the hobby. Well, tonight, what is so awesome, we have a mother and son. So, Jeremy, introduce your mother.
This is Lynn Boston. This is my mother, and of course we're from the Nashville, Tennessee area. I'm from Lebanon, Tennessee, and she's from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And I got into the professional car interest when I was a small child. As most people know, the funeral homes once operated the ambulance services for the communities and still operated the ambulance out of the funeral home, which were Cadillacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, Fords even. And that's kind of what sparked my interest at a very young age of about 3 or 4 years old in the early 1980s. And that was about the time that the funeral homes were exiting the ambulance service due to federal regulations. And I had always had an interest to have a car. And of course I learned too in high school the Professional Car Society, which was about the mid-1990s. And in 2001 I purchased my first car, which was a 1973 Miller Meteor Classic Duplex combination hearse ambulance. It could be ran as the hearse or an ambulance. And then in 2003 I purchased my second one, which is a 1977 Miller Meteor, also on a Cadillac chassis, which is a straight hearse. And they have both been here at Owensboro.
And by the way, they just came out with a book on the Miller Meteor hearses, and your 77 Cadillac is featured, isn't it?
My 77 is in the color in the color section of the book, and I also contributed some vintage photos that I have collected over the years to the author Tom McPherson of Ontario, Canada, who has been a long-time publisher of books on the professional cars and whatnot over the years.
Okay. Well, now, Mom, they came up in your car this time, right? So, what are you driving? What did you bring to Owensboro this weekend?
This is a 1992 Eagle Cadillac hearse, and I have another one identical to it. And I also have a 6-door presidential limousine, 1994 Cadillac.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's now meet some of the others here that have also come up with the show. Steve, you guys let's come up and. No, this must be 72-ish, right? 71. Well, hello. So, Steve, who do we have?
This is Kevin Scott from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Kevin, welcome. We heard all about you coming down here. Good to have you.
Thanks.
So, tell us a little bit about your hearse.
Well, it's a 71. It's not a combination. It's just a regular straight hearse, but it has a light on it. It used to have a purple light because it was in Ohio, and purple's standard over there. But we just put a red light on just because it's much more fun to have that way for parades and such. And it's a 71 S&S Victoria, custom Victoria. I really like the S&S's. Some people like the millimeters. I'm more of an S&S type person. So.
And now, is this the only one you have?
No, I actually have a 94 presidential 6-door limo. It's black. Leanne has one that's gold. So we usually travel with those, but for some reason both our cars are out of commission this weekend, so we're bringing the hearses down.
Gotcha. But now, where do you park these things? How is there a garage big enough for all these cars?
Well, yeah. Essentially, what you have to do is you have to find one of those old houses where you got the family trucksters, where the wagons, and you can put those in there.
Okay.
I actually live in a barn.
Oh, okay.
I actually store mine with it's a storage lot that people put boats in, but I knew the owner, so he let me put my boats. These are land yachts, and
They are.
so it works out real well.
Great. Well, good. And our last one we want to look at, we're going back a few years here. Marilyn Monroe was taken away in one of these, I think, But anyway, we've got here
Mike Stevens from Springfield, Ohio.
And Mike, you have a 1961, right?
It's a 1961 Miller Meteor Cadillac. It's a combination car, can be used as an ambulance or a hearse, and it's usually set up with a gurney in the back and set up as an ambulance. That's why it's got the red light on it. That's period correct for Ohio in 1961. So, and the car's been in the family since October of '73, and that's been a great car all these years. It's great to drive. It's a great road car.
I bet it is. Now, so you've had this one since '73.
It's been in the family since '73. My father-in-law bought it in October of '73.
So did he buy it as a hobby, or did he buy it for his funeral home?
He bought it for a hobby.
And so then he gave it to you. Or you bought it.
It came to me when he passed on.
Well, awesome. That is great. Well, Steve, do you have some other words here that you want to share about this great club that's with us tonight?
I just want to thank everyone for being here for our 5th year, and thanks to Musters over in Calhoun for having us every year, and thanks to you for having us on and for having us at your show.
Well, we're glad to do it. It's me that in a future episode, probably next winter, I want us to go back to Musters to show them what the process of what they do for selling and buying and trading old hearses and everything. That'll really be good. Well, guys, it's good to have you with us. Have a good, safe trip back, and we'll hopefully see you next year. Okay?
Should be here.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our first episode of The Joy of Classic Cars. We hope you enjoyed our visit to the Barbecue Festival and our visit here. Coming next month, we're going to take you to the Town Square Mall Cruise-In, and we'll go to Ritzy's. But until then, we hope you have a great month, and we hope all of you take time to enjoy the joy of classic cars.